This fun fold is way easier than it looks to make, and check that out. It also folds flat to fit in your envelope. Hi everyone, welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. I'm so glad that you're here. We're making a super fun fold. No, I think you're gonna love it. It looks really complicated, but it is very simple, and I'm gonna break it down into easy to follow steps so you can make this at home. I have a corresponding blog post where I'll post all of the measurements and the list of supplies there. You're gonna be able to use this design with, all the stamps, ink, and paper that you have. But if you want your cards to look like mine, you can purchase the supplies right there from the blog post. All right, let's get started. We're going to start by building the focal point of our card. I'm using the Charming Day stamp set. We're going to use this gorgeous bouquet. When stamps are big like this, I like to take my ink pad and take them to the stamp, making sure I have it all. And I'm not squishing it down, I'm just tapping it all over to get ink everywhere. And then I'm gonna press it and kind of hold it for a sec to make sure it's getting a nice, good impression that we'll be able to color in. Now, while we're here, we'll also go ahead and stamp the inside of the card. We're gonna take that other flower in this stamp set, just stamp it right there in the corner. Then go ahead and grab an envelope and take that same small flower and just put it right here on the back of the envelope. Then we'll get this all colored at once. I like to kind of keep my supplies low because I want you to be able to make these cards at home. So I'm just going to use two colors to color in these flowers. I'm going to use Old Olive Light. These are Stampin' Blend's alcohol markers. Alcohol markers just give you a rich, wonderful color. They go on really nice and smooth. And what's awesome is they come in a pack of two, one light and one dark, so that you can blend them together to get just some gorgeous dimension to your cards. Now, after you're done with an alcohol marker, make sure to make it click so that you know that it is closed tightly so it doesn't dry out. You'll notice, now I'm going back through my dark and I'm just doing the lines where the artist put the stem. I'm just kind of going over it with this dark. You'll notice I did not color completely inside the lines. I kind of stopped short of the line. This design just kind of makes it good for just kind of a free-flowing coloring. You can be more exact if you want, but one tip with using alcohol markers, they do spread a little bit. So you don't necessarily want to go all the way to the line. Now I'm gonna go and take my light Melon Mambo and do these roses. Now I'm going to go back through with my dark and I'm going to add dark right around the edge of these petals. Now, if you like this stamp set, I've got a 16 video class just using this stamp set. 16 of us demonstrators got together to create this class, and there are some ladies in there who are just way better at coloring than me, and they give you some fantastic tips for using alcohol markers, for coloring these in with watercolor. So if that bundle is tutorial is free with a $75 purchase with me this month. So with a $50 Stampin' Up! Order, you get my Creativity Made Simple tutorial, template class tutorial, and then with the $75 order, you get that tutorial plus that bundle of the month. We feature a new bundle each month just to give you ideas on, like tons of ideas to do with one bundle. Okay, I did pull in another color, Petal Pink, just so the flowers weren't all the same on the inside and the outside. So there, that did not take us long, and this is gonna look so awesome. So we'll go ahead and stamp the sentiment. There's a happy birthday and a thanks for being you, and then these for the inside of the card. We'll go ahead and just get that done so we can move on to the card base. So I'm just gonna do this right here. Whoop. Just stamp that right in the middle, and then this one, You Made My Day. Thanks for being you. You made my day. We're just gonna put this right here. You know what? That is a little crooked. That is bothering me. I'm gonna do that again. Thankfully, there are two sides to every paper. I better line this up here better. Let's see if I can do it better this time. No, it is still crooked. Are you kidding me? I'll be back. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can do this again. What is wrong? You know what? Let me practice on my paper here. Let's see. Oh, I see. I got to tilt it just the littlest bit. Okay, there we go. Yes, finally. All right, we'll glue this sentiment on the back of this layer. I've got the measurements for these on my website, so don't worry about that. And I'm gonna set these out of our way. We're gonna go ahead and cut this out. This Charming Day bundle comes with all of these dies. I'm gonna use this one to cut out these flowers, but if you don't have the dies, don't worry about it. You can just cut those out with scissors. Now I'm also gonna cut out two leaves. They've got this long, airy one and these more compact ones. I'm gonna cut one of this and two of these small ones. And then we're gonna layer all this on a circle. And this is the 3-inch circle from the Stylish Shapes bundle. So now I've got a tip for putting all this together, and it is tape. I just find that to be the easiest thing. So you're gonna take your flower and then just take the leaves and kind of put them behind your flower where you think they're gonna look good. You don't want them sticking out too far because you want it to be able to fit in the envelope. But I just kind of build this around like so, kind of get them where I want them, hold them with my finger, turn it over and add some tape. And we can always pull these leaves kind of out or in if they end up being too wide to fit on the card. Or you could do this after you make the card base if you want. So this is gonna go right here, but to make it even more special, we're gonna add a little of this gold mesh ribbon, just kind of, let's see, how much is this? I think this is how much you need. We'll do like 9 inches. If you like this little ribbon holder thing, I've got a video on how you can do that. It is so easy, and I tidied up all my ribbons so well. Okay, now for this, we're not gonna tie a bow. You can if you want, but I'm kind of like bad at that. So how about we just put it underneath like this, just kind of having one loop coming down this way and one loop coming up this way. You don't, and then just kind of check and see if it looks good. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. And then tape it right into place. There. So now you can glue this directly to this circle, but I'm gonna add Stampin' Dimensionals right along the back here. Just put them right over all this stuff. It'll work just fine. And make sure you have enough in there. That one's probably not gonna do much because it's directly only on the ribbon. You gotta make sure it's on part of the card base too there, or the flower. Oh, just the same as this one. Hold up, hold up. Let me move you. You are not gonna be very helpful. Let's put it up there. Okay, then take the backs off. There we go. And then put this right on our focal point here. Isn't that so pretty? We'll add some embellishments later, but we'll set that off to the side. Let's make that card base. I don't normally show you how to cut the card base because it's pretty straightforward, but I just don't want you to miss out on this part. You're gonna cut it at 4 1/4, so you have a long strip here, but then take this piece to cut this next piece, the strip, and just cut that at 1 1/2. I didn't want you struggling when this is just so easy. Now you can definitely use your paper trimmer to score this, but when I'm making multiples of cards that have multiple score lines, I like to use the scoreboard. You can mark the measurements right here so that you don't have to go looking them up every time. The scoreboard also gives you a deeper score line, so that's really nice. And then this one is just scored right in half at 5 1/2. This is the project sheet I emailed out this morning. If you're on my email list, if you're not, you can sign up and this will be free in for the first week. It's just got some measurements, just makes it easier to make your card when you have that printed project sheet right next to you. Now we're going to do some stamping on our card, but I've got a hack for you because we're only going to stamp on this panel. I don't want it extending over here, which is going to be the back of the card, or here, which is the very front of the card. So use some Post-it notes and go right along that score line. You can, these I've reused several times. You just line it up, and I do have it going off the card, so it actually holds it to my grid paper there. Just like this. Then we can stamp without having to worry that it's not, that it's getting where we don't want it to be. Now for this part, you can use Basic Beige, which is the same color as the card base, to add just a subtle image, or you can use Old Olive to make it darker. And I'm gonna use this, but I have examples to show you, so you can decide what you want. So for this part, go ahead and grab this small flower again and this small leaf. So I gotta wipe mine off because I didn't wipe it off. So I like to get most of my ink off on my scratch paper and then wipe it on the wet side of the Stampin' Scrub and then dry it off on the dry side. That's so quick. Now what we're gonna do is just stamp randomly around, rotating your stamp so you get a different part of the image. Whoa! Oh boy, that was almost bad. And then just kind of just go around. We're definitely trying to get the edges. The middle of this we won't see because of the design of the card here. And then we'll just kind of fill in with these other leaves. I might be stamping too much. Oh, I don't like it when I do that. We'll do just a couple here, I guess. Yeah, we'll do one more right there. And then look at this. Now when you pull this off, you have a nice straight edge, and it looks so professional. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this strip. This part is on the front of the card, and this is on the back. We're gonna stamp the one that's on the front of the card. So we're gonna just do some leaves here and here. Just kind of all around. And then peel that off. And we got it. Our card is almost done. I'm gonna move this out of the way just so you can really see what I'm doing. So now grab your bone folder and we're gonna fold along this score line here. And then where they have these little 1 inch, you're gonna fold this whole thing up, burnish it, and then fold this front flap back and burnish that. But I'm actually gonna fold it down to get it nice and burnished really well. Then this one just gets folded in half. Don't just fold it and then burnish it. You got to make sure that it is lined up. Did I cut this wrong? Did I measure this wrong? That is definitely off. I got to go check this. Yep, I scored that a little off, but that's okay. It's still going to fit. Okay, here is the super cool part. This card looks so fancy, right? But it is so easy. It's so easy. So you're going to take your strip. You're going to put glue on this side. So flower to flower, you're gonna put it on the front edge of this, on the front edge like that, right in the center. This is what kind of makes the image look like it's popped up. Now flip this over, put glue on this side. Well, you didn't see me do that. Put glue at the top there. Fold this down and put it level with your card base there in the back. Now mine is twisting for some reason, which means it's probably not straight in the front, or I didn't score it right, but we know I didn't do that right. There we go. Then that gives you this cool pop-up, stand-up thing happening. This definitely has an easier time standing up, like if it's on like a paper or something, it won't slide. Now, the last thing we need to do is put glue right there in the middle. Adhere our focal point. You just want to make sure it's not extending over either side this way or above this thing this way, because that will make it fit in the envelope. Then just grab your sentiment, put glue only along the bottom edge. I can't tell you how many times when I was making the examples, I put glue all over it, and no, don't do that, because then your card won't work right. Now, lastly, I am gonna add a few of these low profile antique pearls because I don't know, they just seem like roses and pearls just like go together. So I'm gonna tuck one underneath here just a little bit so the whole thing isn't showing. And then another right here. Now remember, if you like this card, I've got all the measurements on my blog post, or you can get them off that project sheet. The last thing we need to do is glue this on the inside. This was the inside of our card that we did. And just put it right in here. Alternately, you could put it also, it would fit perfectly on the back if you want this to be covered up. And honestly, you could glue this entire thing down if you want. But I mean, it doesn't really need it. So either way you want to do that. Is that not just so gorgeous? And how easy was that? But when somebody gets this in the mail, they're gonna be like, holy cow, that is amazing. Let me show you the different color combos. So I used Old Olive on all of the leaves. And then these were the different color combos I used, either the Melon Mambo, the Petal Pink. Let me show you that one. I think that one turned out so pretty. To get that kind of really darker edge on there, I actually took the light peach pie to edge that. And there's the inside and the envelope. Then this is what the peach pie looks like. And there's the inside. Now you can see that this one I stamped with the basic beige, so it's more subtle. And so you can decide which way you like that. Lastly, this one is Highland Heather, just so bold and gorgeous. So these are all made with that Charming Day stamp set. If you are interested in that video class, it's free with an order, or you can just purchase it from my tutorial store also. Make sure you're on my email list to get that project sheet for free. The link is in the description of this video. If you got questions about anything, man, just post a comment and I'm happy to help. I'll see you next Friday for my next card making video. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell to get notified. See you next week. Have a sunny day.